Hello, US 101 history class. This is the last week, and then we're going to have a final next week. So there's just a few things that I wanted to add and say for those of you who are watching this as you are required to do. But in any case, look, you notice that we slowed down with some of the work come the end of this semester, right? And hopefully that gave you a chance to kind of collect yourselves, in some cases catch up. And so I just want to make clear at this point, because of the time and where we're at, basically no more late work can come in outside of what has been discussed individually. We're just at a time constraint. And so some of you, I still gave a limited amount of work you could turn in. I cannot take an entire semester dump. And so I hope you're listening to this, and you can talk to me. I'm going to be available for office hours on Zoom tonight. So please feel free to take advantage of that. I have some ideas to help some of you manage if you fell too far behind, but this is not the time to catch up. You should be caught up or mainly in motion, and something that we've already been discussing. And so if you're at a grade and you don't want, and you have not communicated with me at all up until now, and you have a lot of late work that you wanted to make up, this isn't the time. But then the question is, what should you do? Again, I want to remind you all that I'm not judging anyone for having any issues on getting the work done. I've been there before on many semesters while I've been in school. So it's just, what is the best strategy moving forward? Please take advantage of the office hours tonight, or getting in contact with me, and maybe we can talk possibly tomorrow or Saturday, just to go over what to do if you're in the D and F range, okay? And any other questions or issues, then feel free to get a hold of me also for that. And I just want to say something about the content. So you see that I'm ending us with watching The Birth of a Nation, which you may feel quite traumatized by. Look, one of the things that I want to really make clear as we end on this semester is that our legacy, the things that happened in this country, the residual effects we are still seeing happen to this day. Because just because a war is won doesn't mean that the ideologies and the problems that were all surrounded around a given conflict just go away once someone declares victory. And just to clarify, I showed, so first of all, we have looked at the primary sources and see that the declarations of secession by the southern states stated that they were breaking away because of slavery. Very clear. And it is very odd, right, that this is still debated about in this country, and that these declarations are not something that every American just in the United States knows about, just like you should know about the Declaration of Independence, and trying to understand how we got here. It also needs to be always made clear that this was a fight against slavery. The issue of race in this country was not even really the topic for most of the people at this time. And of course, Reconstruction, as one of my mentors called the counter-revolution, in which the victories for Black Americans being freed from slavery end up being reduced to another kind of humiliating subservient situation put in with black codes and segregation laws and so forth that lasted all the way up to just a decade before I was born. Okay, so these are the things that we just need to put into perspective on all this, and I think it's important. Now, I also just want to mention that I focused on a lot of negative, critical things about the United States, and the textbook covered a lot of that. I do think it's important that while we deal with and understand and try to rectify in some way, if possible, the problems of our past, that, you know, that we don't look at the American project, our country, or and our community as this impossible thing to redeem. Because if we do that, then what do we make for ourselves here, for all of us, right? So I just think that what's important is to take those things and make things better, to always make things better, and no matter what society you live. I have been in many different countries, and I have seen that there's a lot of problems that they have in terms of things that they need to rectify. We have our problems we need to rectify. Instead of us saying we're the best or we're the worst, why don't we just take a look at our history, come to terms with our own history, and then come to terms with our present, and try to make all of that work for us as best as possible, and realize that we all have this blended history together, the negative and the positive, and work to just make life here much more sustainable. And that's all I'm going to say on that. That's the only message that I want to really bring out. I don't like to be that vague, and I realize there's a lot to unpack with that. And if we ever get a chance to meet in person, or I get to have other classes with me, sometimes I get to expand more upon some of that, especially in US 102, which I have not taught in a long time. So having said all of that, these classes, these late starts, are really difficult to get in there. I had a lot going on this semester that made this very challenging for me as well, and I know for many of you. So hang in there. Let's communicate till the end here, and take advantage of trying to talk to me before the semester ends. Don't drop a ton of late work on me without going through a communication with me right now. So the key to this all is just reach out, communicate, and let's see what we can do at the end here. So have a great rest of your week, everyone.